Morning, guys. I go by the name of Win. My company is Mancinism. For those who don't know, Mancinism is a state of left-handedness or having sort of bias to left-sidedness, and it's pronounced Mancinism, not Mancinism or Mancinism or Mancinicism. I think people put extra C's or S's in there somehow. It is an obscure word, but I think when people read it or they see it in print, it causes confusion. But once you hear it being pronounced, Mancinism, break it down, quite simple. Okay, so today's my first training video, if you like. I don't really do training videos, but I thought, why not? Why not give it a go? Um, what I found is people are quite amazed at my hem labels and that I hand sew them on. Um, so this is kind of not proof, if you like. People kind of think, oh, I can't sew like that, and how come you can sew so neat? I mean, it took me a few goes to get it right to begin with. I mean, my stitches were everywhere. It's just, but being left-handed, it's kind of something that comes along with, sort of those kind of extra kind of, technical sort of little finicky things that you do become second nature and become quite easy once you kind of grasp the basic sort of process. So I'm going to show you how I accomplish this in a few minutes. So I've got my lovely exclusive organic, I think it's called Marl effect, kind of like a TV static effect. You guys won't see this on my shop. This is just for me, I'm afraid, until further notice. So what I can do, I don't even have all the proper sewing equipment. I don't even have safety pins or anything, so I have to do makeshift ways of applying things. So yeah, I'll fold my hem label, give it a sort of crease, or if I've kind of prepared this properly, I'd have it on my makeshift pin cushion and I'd pin it down to just to increase the fold, just to help it kind of fold out. So when I put it around the hem, if you notice with my t-shirt, I kind of put it to the left. So when you're wearing it, it's to your left, yeah? It's to the right facing when someone's facing it, but it's actually to your left when you wear it. So I always try to visualize left-sidedness or left-handedness in my design if I can. So with this, I actually did put it on the left sleeve to begin with, and I tried that myself and I found it was quite uncomfortable if I had something on top, because you sort of get scratching on the arm, which wasn't too pleasant. I mean, it's bearable, but it's not nice for a customer. So I make sure if I'm sending out to customers, I always put it down here. There's no risk of any irritation. So just fold it. Just make sure that the edges kind of line up to the hem. The good thing about garments like this is you've got a hem. You can kind of see the line, and you can kind of guide it and just pin it in place. Really, I mean, I've got pins like this, which is sort of I don't know what they're called, but they can get in the way. You just got to be careful. So just gently slide it through and pin it to a desired location, and then bearing in mind the way you might sew might be different to me because I'm left-handed. So you might want this pointing that way just to get it out of your way, or sort of prevent any pricks or any any injuries. But thimbles are good for that. I'm going to use my metal thimble today. I don't usually use it. I've got quite endured skin. My skin's quite, I don't really get pricks or get burns, so what? Kind of a bit tolerant. So as you can see, it's pinned in place nicely, nice and straight. So I've prepared. I mean, I'm not going to, I didn't want to thread a needle because it might take a while. It's not a lesson on how to thread a needle, but I've got a needle threaded, and I've got one knot at the end, to sort of act as a bracket to stop it coming through once you've done the first thread. But I don't feel comfortable doing one, so I just did one to prepare myself, and do another one and make sure the two knots are exactly on the same place, so it creates a bigger knot. What I do is to make sure it's on the same place. I don't know if you can see that, but just obviously the cotton moves, but keep guiding the loop until it goes on top of your original knot. Now, I'm not advised you need sort of good eyes for this. I'm lucky enough to still have my 20/20 vision, but I know a lot of people don't. But yeah, just take it easy until you've got there, one knot on top of the other, so it gives it just that little bit of, you know, endurance when you kind of, it's on, you know, if your garment wants to go through a bit of rigorous action, then you kind of know that that's not going to sort of undo your hem label. It should be fine. You can always do a third one as well, but I just do two. So you start from the back end, start from underneath, because you don't want your knot to hit the front, do you? So bear that in mind, that, you know, you go to the initial corner, whether it's the left or the right. I go from the left. I guess being left-handed, it's kind of easy for me. And just feel it. You always have to feel. Actually, sorry, I'm supposed to put my thimble on. To save this off, if you're sort of a beginner at this, to save this off, you know, skewering your flesh, your finger, you can kind of feel it. I guess that's why it's got notches in a thimble, because it's kind of to hold the needle. So as you put it through, you can kind of feel it. I mean, sometimes it's quite nice for me to use my flesh. I can actually feel where it's coming through, because I can't actually feel the contact of the needle, but you can see it come through. And just make sure you're happy. You want to reflect exactly what you're doing on the front and what you're doing in the back to be the same. So it's a dotted line you're trying to achieve. This actually cotton's not that long. I'm hoping I can get all the way to the end with this amount of cotton, but if not, you'll get the basic idea anyway. And then just visualize a straight line using, you know, this edge here as a guide. You know, it's a few millimeters in. Try not to do it too much into the design. You want to do it as close to the edge as possible, but not too close to the edge. You know, I've got about 3 millimeters in, and then, you know, you're just visualizing a straight line. Now, as you're going back to the other side, you want to sort of line up the exit point with where your knotted bit is, where your first point of entry was. And you just basically keep, give it a firm pull, basically keep that straight line going on that side and on this side. You know, you may not think it's important to do the inside because that's not what's on show, but that's what's going to help you achieve your straight line. Because at the beginning I was all over the place. I was going in, making sure it was nice on that side, but then on this side it was a state, you know. it just looked horrible. People thought, you know, it wasn't a big deal, but me being a perfectionist, I did it until I managed to get it right on both sides. Now, because I've threaded this, and obviously you have 2 strands of cotton, sometimes they twist when you're using your needle. It twists on itself, and sometimes it gathers and it creates its own knot as you're pulling through. Just try and be careful not to not do that. If you do, and it shouldn't happen here, but just twist the needle the other way, pull it out, twist the needle the other way to kind of ungather, you know, unspiral the cotton, if you like, and then retry again to thread. What I find is I kind of pull out a little bit and get another needle and try and ungather the sort of self-made knot that it makes. So as you notice, I'm not even using my thimble because I prefer to actually feel in relation to where. You can see I've done 2 at the moment. It's quite hard to see because it's red on red, but I'm hoping you can see that. I mean, I do, even I say, you know, try and match the front and the back, I mean, I do give a little bit of allowance to the back. I mean, you know, as long as it's nice enough. You know, the front is the most important, but it's a good form of habit to get the back. It's kind of 2 lessons in one, because, or twice as much learning in one session, because if you're straightening in the back as well as the front, you're just kind of like you're doing 2. Because you're not just focusing on one side, you're focusing on both sides. So it's good to get doubling your learning, if you like, doubling your your speed process of learning. So that's 4 on that side. You can see 4 sort of dotted lines on that side, and here there's 1, 2, 3, and that's the 4th here. So obviously that side is first, and then the inside is the second. You kind of push it through, and if it doesn't come out the right place, take it out just a little bit, and then kind of guide it to the right spot. Thimble sometimes gets in the way. I'm not a thimble person. Then again, I'm not a I'm not a sewer. I've only sort of learnt this in the last few months when I got my hem labels come through. My hem labels cost me £220 for 500. These are woven damask, which is the standard. I mean, I say the standard, but I guess you can get other cheaper ones which are just printed. But these are sort of woven damask, and they're really sort of nice, sort of detailed embroidered for your logo. If anyone wants to get woven damask labels and can't get them cheaper than £220 for 500, get in touch. Yeah, win at mancinismdesign.net. That's WIN at MANCINISM design.net. As you know, I outsource third parties, so printing, any printing supplies, or this is where okay, I thought it was not there. Printing supplies, any sort of garment finishing like hem labels or neck labels. Obviously, I communicate with these various different printers and garment printers and stationery printers around the country. So I have to research different prices, but depending on what the client wants, so I can sort of try and get a good price. Or even if you found a better price than I have, I'll be grateful to know. I can use them. That's looking quite good at the moment. I'm kind of just over halfway through. I mean, usually I would do this a bit quicker, so just trying to show you guys, sort of talking about it. Almost there. If you notice, I'm trying to make sure I don't impale myself on these. Actually, after you don't need to kind of have that in. The first one can come out after the first few stitches, because your stitches holds the hem label in place. Don't take the second one out though, because it tends to move around, and then once you finish, you find that you've got a slope going up or down because it's not being pinned in place. So keep that last one into the end. Try and use safety pins though, or something. This something where you're not exposed to getting pricked. Safety first. I would, for me it's okay. I've got myself to blame, right? I haven't got everything I need here. Actually, my team Mancinism member who I get my needle and cotton and that from, she's actually in Canada at the moment. So I'm not able to get anything from her when she comes back at the end of this month. Today is, gosh, you know what? Being self-employed, I lose track of the days. Every day is the same for me. It's Monday. It's the 8th of June, I believe. If you've got some kind of idea. My Kickstarter campaign is 10 days in. There's only 20 days left. I'm trying to encourage. I've only got 1% of my £4,500 target. It's not looking good. Not quite sure why that is. I'm doing all I can to get the message out there. Probably without the funds for people to promote it. Kickstarter and other people promote your campaign for money, but the thing is, I'm trying to raise money. I don't have money to spend on it, so it's counterproductive. So this is the last stitch now. It gets a bit finicky, can do. Luckily I've got sort of longish sort of hard nails. I can sort of grip the corner of the tag and get the last stitch in here. go in, try to keep it away from the edge, so sort of mirror what you've done at the beginning, the same distance away from both edges, the corner of the hem. Sorry if you get confused between the pin and the needle. Let's get that out there. So I've got it in there in the last corner, come through there in the same place, pull it out. I always thought this was, this was a tricky bit, trying to get the knot at the, at the where the label is, rather than having a long bit of string. It took me a while to figure out, but you make a knot, just make a normal knot with the needle still attached. Spread out the loop so the knot is forced into the hem label. Then put your thumb on it so it doesn't move. And then just pull to make the knot. And as you can see, the knot is right where the hem label is. It's not sort of halfway down the string. And then obviously we've got a double knot to make sure it doesn't come through, or triple knot. So again, force that, open it, force that knot right down there, and with a bit of skill, without making it move, you put your thumb on it, and pull. Yeah? And there you have it. You see your double knot is right at the hem label. Scissors or scalpel, scissors preferably. Try not to cut into the knot. Double knot that when you're finished, or if there's not enough cotton like there isn't there. Get rid of it and replace with a new one. Now this is the beginning, this is at the very beginning, the first stitch, so you don't want that. Customer doesn't want that. So cut that. And there you have it. A nicely let's see here. If you can see that properly. Hand-sewn Mancinism with love, no machines involved. This is all about as much creating as your own as possible. It's not just organic garments, it is about nurturing your creative skills, hence why I like to work with the youth, trying to bring out creativity in them, whether it's writing, painting, whatever it is. I'm an artist first and foremost, so I like to teach people how to draw and whatnot. But yeah, there you have it. So I've lost count of how many I've done of these. I've still got loads of hem labels left, so I probably haven't even used 100 of these, but I find it's fun. It's my definition of fun. It's doing something technical. So I've missed a bit of cotton there. So yeah, for all those who don't believe that I hand sew my hem labels, there you have it. Proof. One thing I will say as well is just to plug my Kickstarter campaign. I've got a short version of the link. It's got a load of characters and numbers and whatnot. So I've got a bit.ly link. So it's bit.ly/kickstarted. So bit.ly/kickstarted. Yeah, KICKSTARTED. And I've made the ED uppercase because it's equality and diversity. I don't think that matters though. Just go into kickstarter.com and do a search for Mancinism. That should work as well. MANCINISM. And please pledge away. So this is the love that goes into garments when it, to finish off the garments before it gets into the customer. So yeah, I've only had these in the last month or so. So if you have a garment without this, I apologise. I've only got these since I had my local grant awarded to me. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll try and find an excuse to make another video. Alright, thanks guys, bye.